Have you ever wondered what it was like to sail into the unknown with no guarantee of ever coming back? To stand at the edge of the world as you know it, and wonder if you'd fall off the map? Welcome to Epic Time Journeys, where we dive deep into the past to uncover the tales of history's most daring explorers. Today, we embark on a journey through the Age of Exploration, a time when adventurers like Columbus, Magellan, and Vasco da Gama pushed the limits of the world they knew. They opened new frontiers, but at what cost? Were they heroes of discovery or harbingers of destruction? Let's find out. It all began in 1492, when a Genoese sailor named Christopher Columbus convinced the Spanish crown to finance his bold idea to sail west, not east, to find a new route to the riches of Asia. But what lay to the west was not the golden cities of China or the spices of India. Instead, Columbus stumbled upon a world that had existed long before Europeans even knew of its existence: the Americas. What Columbus saw as a new world was, in fact, an ancient land, home to millions of indigenous people with their own cultures, languages, and histories. Columbus's discovery opened the floodgates for European colonization, and the lives of these indigenous populations would be forever changed. Though Columbus would never find the wealth of Asia, his voyages sparked an age of empire building and conquest. For the indigenous people of the Americas, this age of discovery would lead to the loss of their lands, their lives, and their ways of life. But Columbus was just the beginning. As Columbus sailed west, another man set his sights to the east. In 1497, Vasco da Gama was tasked by the Portuguese crown to find a sea route to India, the jewel of the spice trade. The journey was perilous. Da Gama and his crew faced months at sea, battling treacherous winds, scurvy, and disease. Many thought they'd never return. But Vasco da Gama made it, becoming the first European to reach India by sea. His arrival marked the beginning of European domination in the Indian Ocean trade, transforming Portugal into a major world power. However, da Gama's success also had unintended consequences. While his voyage was celebrated in Europe, it introduced centuries of exploitation and conflict for the regions of Africa and India. What had begun as a trade route quickly turned into an avenue for imperialism. The price of spices and silk, centuries of political unrest, violence, and subjugation. In 1519, Ferdinand Magellan took on what many considered the most dangerous journey yet, to circumnavigate the globe. His mission? To find a western route to the Spice Islands of Southeast Asia. But the price of glory was high. Magellan's expedition faced every imaginable hardship, mutiny, starvation, hostile encounters with indigenous peoples, and deadly storms that pushed his crew to the brink. Magellan himself never completed the journey. He was killed in the Philippines during a battle with indigenous warriors. Yet, his crew pressed on. In 1522, just 18 of the 270 men who had set sail with him limped back to Spain, completing the first circumnavigation of the Earth. Magellan's voyage confirmed what many had suspected. The Earth was indeed round. But more than that, it revealed just how interconnected the world was, and how dangerous that connectivity could be. For the European explorers, the Age of Exploration was a time of discovery and new opportunities. But for the indigenous populations of the Americas, Africa, and Asia, these voyages marked the beginning of their darkest days. Entire civilizations were wiped out by disease, war, and slavery. The world these explorers sought to expand was built on the suffering of others. The great wealth that Europe gained from its overseas colonies came at a devastating human cost. The Age of Exploration forever changed the world. New trade routes were forged, new lands were mapped, and new connections were made. But it also set the stage for centuries of exploitation, conflict, and colonization. It's easy to look back on these explorers as heroes of history, but it's important to remember the price that others paid for their discoveries. While they expanded the horizons of Europe, they also left a legacy of destruction in their wake. So the next time you hear the name Columbus, da Gama, or Magellan, remember, their journeys weren't just stories of adventure and glory. They were also tales of loss, conflict, and the reshaping of entire worlds. Thanks for watching Epic Time Journeys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the stories that shaped our world. And until next time, keep exploring.